This tutorial explains how the QA4MOBiLE QA Session screen and log file work. So this is the QA Session screen, and down the bottom is where the log file is written, which is also saved to the output directory. While a check is running, a blue circle will appear to the left of each check, and there will be a progress bar to the right. When the check is completed, if a green tick appears, the check has completed successfully, but this does not necessarily mean that data has passed QA. This symbol here, with the clock, to the left of a check means that the check is queued to run within that session. A yellow warning means the check was not run. For example, a corruption check cannot run for TIFF files if no TIFF files exist within the project. A red cross means an error occurred and the check cannot run. There are also pause, play and stop buttons to the top right of the QA session, and these can be used to pause or play checks or stop checks from processing. So you can see them up here. As there is no way to pause external processes, when the pause button is clicked, the current check will finish processing, and then processing of any further checks will pause until the user clicks play with the message QA session paused. Clicking the stop button should stop the current check almost immediately. However, checks from point density onwards may need to wait for an external Python process to finish and will then be stopped with the message QA session was aborted. So if we go back to the check screen, which is where you run the checks from, so here you can see a green tick to the right of a check means that the check has already been run for the session. If we go and run those again, the delivery completeness and spatial file corruption checks, you can see that some checks with red crosses couldn't run, and this is because I didn't actually supply a tender form for this project, and two checks that successfully run have the green tick. So you can find additional information about the processing in the log window at the bottom of the screen, and this should help you determine why a check didn't run successfully. So for instance, check will not run as a valid tender form is required, and I didn't supply one. Each time a QA session is run, the log is automatically saved to a text file in a folder called logs within the output directory selected by the user. Each log file is named with the session ID, date and time. The log contains detailed information about the QA session, including dates and times, the checks tick to run for the session, so here's delivery completeness, file corruption, etc. Whether results have been saved, and if not, why the check didn't run, including error information, and whether data passed or failed QA. So here you can see for max las file size, for las tile size and origin, these are all valid. This information can assist users to figure out why their data may be failing QA or why checks may be unable to run successfully. When the QA session has completed, you can then move to the results and report to see the results of the automated checks you ran. Thank you for watching this QA4MOBiLE tutorial. For further tutorials, please visit the QA4MOBiLE YouTube channel.